Everything we do here revolves around one thing: food. Our dream of buying land and building a homestead was always about having the space to grow, harvest, prepare, and preserve as much of our own food as possible. But can we finally grow enough to last an entire year? Up until now, we've focused mainly on building infrastructure to make our big homestead dream possible, only gardening in the moments between projects. But this year the plan is to transform our garden space into a high production food source. If we don't finish the inside and the outside of the greenhouse in the next couple of weeks, we will miss out on having a place to start all of our garden seeds. Because have you seen our house? It is tiny. And without seedlings, there is no high production garden. The clock is ticking. We decided to steal these windows for the greenhouse because we have a plan for this window opening and it is on our to-do list. We will be replacing it with a modern window that opens because we want to be able to let the breeze in without bugs coming in. We aren't ready to purchase that window and install it yet, so we are just covering it up with plastic until we're ready to do that. So beautiful. Although painting the front of the greenhouse isn't technically required to start seeds, we've had a bad habit of leaving projects 80% finished and moving on. Once something is usable, it's easy to shift focus to the next task, leaving a list of unfinished details to revisit later. About a year ago, we realized we didn't like that approach and decided to push ourselves to fully complete projects down to the smallest detail. We've tried to stick to that as much as possible, but when things don't go as planned, we adapt and finish when we can. Because these windows are old, we are just putting some hinges on them, and I am making a simple mechanism that will allow it to stay closed. It's really just a piece of wood and a screw that can move back and forth, and it's tight enough to where you move it and it stays in place, but loose enough to where you can actually move it. We've finally had really sunny and sort of warm days, which has been such a relief from the cold winter that we have had. So we had to buy some flowers and update our planters because everything has been dead for so long and it's nice to have a little color. Even though we have a ton of things on our to-do list, it is nice to take a break and do something simple like plant some flowers that makes you happy. Because we were updating the porch with a new rug and some beautiful planters, we figured we might as well clean the door and touch up the paint because it has been needing that for a very long time. We set up our electric fence that we used for our pigs all around the greenhouse area because we have some kitties that like to climb the greenhouse and put holes in the plastic. So this is a simple way to keep them from using our greenhouse as their playhouse. I don't think anything in our house has been more impactful than when we put trim on our windows. I knew that when we did it on the greenhouse, it would also be truly impactful, and I was not wrong. The first piece of trim is the piece that is butting up against the window and keeping it from pushing forward, and even just putting that on has made it look so much nicer. But we still have to put the front trim on. While we wait for paint to dry, we are cleaning out the greenhouse. Over the fall and winter, this became a storage area for building materials and anything gardening that we didn't have a place for. And also now it has become the place where all the tools are because we've been using so much of them to complete the front of the greenhouse. But now that we need to make the greenhouse usable, all of the stuff has to move somewhere else. So we are loading it on our trailer for now, and hopefully we will get it off the trailer today. And with that trim on, the front of the greenhouse is finally complete.
So this is supposed to eventually be our outdoor kitchen. It is now, as you can see, a covered storage area for building materials. We would like to build another one of these on the other side of the shed for this purpose. But right now, we don't have a lot of covered places to put building materials, so this is what we're gonna do. But we're gonna clean this off so we can put all that stuff we just put into the trailer under here. Building the awning, the other awning, is on our 2025 big giant to-do list. Is that a dream project?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. We put a few things as like dream projects if we could get to it this year, if we have the money to do it this year. I can't remember if we prioritize that or not, but I have been wanting this forever. And we're gonna do a little something to keep it fairly weather tight.
Those pieces of wood. Opening is kind of small, but I think it will end up being okay. It just feels really crazy right now.
We have an abundance of eggs right now. It is really crazy. I think all of our chickens are laying, but if not all of them, most of them. So we're experimenting with some ways to preserve them. A couple years ago, we made a ton of egg bites and froze them, and we still have some of those because we don't love the texture when reheating. So we're gonna try to preserve eggs by freezing them cracked but not cooked yet.
We have enough room. Oh my gosh. Some may say this needs to be ironed.
Some might have the nerve to say such a thing. I don't know how anybody regularly irons their sheets. Do you do that? I know people do that, but that is crazy. I've done this one twin sheet and I want to quit.
How many do you have to do?
4. 3 more.
Dang. She already got slobber on here.
For my birthday this year, I wanted to do a sew-a-thon on a day. On the day of the sew-a-thon, we just sewed 2 things, which we've had the fabric for a very long time, and it is our duvet covers. We bought 4 sheet sets months and months ago that we knew we wanted to combine and make 2 matching duvet covers. Neither of us use top sheets, so we figured that with the 4 sheet sets, we would each have 2 fitted sheets, 2 pillowcases. Then we would use the top sheets to sew the duvet cover. We are very happy to finally have those done. The tradition on our birthdays is that the birthday girl doesn't do dishes or cooking, so Casey took care of all of that and she made me cupcakes. We just stayed at home and did nothing, had no responsibilities to worry about, and I was able to watch Harry Potter because Casey doesn't like Harry Potter, so on your birthday you get to watch whatever you want.
Happy birthday to you.
I feel like we've chosen the windiest day to do this project, but it's going to start raining tonight, so it has to be done today. But you're about to see us fight in the wind, that's what I know. You're crazy, little kitty.
Okay.
Even though the inside of our greenhouse isn't ready for seedlings yet, we are still starting seeds because it's that time, and we have 3 trays started. One of them is on our bench by the front door under some lighting. Those are onions. And then everything else is in the greenhouse, sitting on the garden bed until we get everything ready in there. But this is just the beginning of what we hope will be our most productive growing season yet. There's still so much to do, but every step gets us closer to our goal of growing enough food to last an entire year. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.